and then I'm just like everywhere. But since I'm from Dallas, I didn't know anybody that was actually attending UH. And then for my class, they had like a board saying what college you were to go to, and only one other person was going to UH, and I wasn't their friend. So I was just extremely nervous. But then like talking to the counselors and like since they all have like a close bond, it just made me feel like, okay, like I'm safe, I'm secure, like everything's gonna be great. And after a while, like try like a couple hours, because at camp, all the hours go by so fast. It's like you've been there for like a month and you've only been there for like a day. So it was just like, I just got over it so quickly because of my counselors.
Mm-hmm. I think the bonding at Cub Camp is one of the best things for sure. What about you, Don?
I think my initial thoughts, right? I think it's probably why my mom signed me up for this. And then when I finally got to camp and we got off the bus, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like set my negativity aside and leave it on the bus, and I'm gonna come in with like a optimism and like an open mind and try to have a good time. And I probably had like the best time at camp I could have had. It was amazing.
Awesome. And then Terry, what about you? What were your initial thoughts when getting to camp as a counselor?
So as a counselor, my main thought was just making sure that all the campers had a good time. Like my very first thing was, okay, getting them to know me and feel comfortable around me. But the very next step was making sure that they got a bond with each other so that they can find a friend, not just for like their 4 years in college, but for afterwards and years long. So that was just my first thought for me and my partner, Sarah, actually.
Awesome. And then time for our next question. How was it adjusting as a camper or staff to the camp environment? And Jordan, we'll start with you this time.
All right. So pretty much just camper and staff, like I was just a super shy person. So going to camp as camper, like I didn't really know who to talk to, where to go. And then on staff, like Tara, I think you can attest to this. As a counselor, I was pretty much quiet. I didn't speak up for myself or say my ideas. But luckily, luckily I met a bunch of people that like talk to me and help me get to that point. They're like, yeah, Jordan, do you want to be involved in this? They were constantly bringing me into the conversation until I felt comfortable enough to actually join in on my own and felt confident in my own ideas.
That's so nice. Andrea, what about you?
Like adjusting to camp?
Mm-hmm.
Well, adjusting wasn't hard because like same thing like Dom, when I got to camp, I was like, I don't know why I signed up for this. Like, I don't know why I'm here. But then like the first like moment of camp, which was in the bleachers, I met this girl who sat next to me and she started talking to me and she was like basically my first friend at UH. And then she kind of got me out of my comfort zone and we both started talking to new people. And then I didn't feel as scared because like I realized that we were all in the same like place, that this is new for us and it's just a new experience with new people. And that just made me feel less alone. So that kind of like helped me adjust to the environment better. And then just bonding with your DG group and your counselors was like the best way to open up to everyone.
Before we go into the next question, there were some technical difficulties in the beginning, but I just want to reintroduce me and Brittany real quick. So my name is Vicky Hernandez. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Advancement for anyone who's tuning in. Just a reminder that our registration is open for Cupcamp 2020. The link is, our link to register is www.uh.edu/Cupcamp. And now this is our host, Brittany Jones, who will introduce herself.
Hey guys, my name's Brittany. I'm the Camp Development Director for Cupcamp 2020. Super excited to be here. And then we'll just jump back into the questions. Yeah. So lastly, I wanted to hear from you, Monica. How was it adjusting as a camper or staff to the camp environment?
So since I already talked about like going into camp as a camper, I'm going to talk about being a staff. I was like super pumped because me and Dawn, we like met during camp. And so we became friends like through freshman year, and we didn't sign up for Cup Camp like that. We had like a year break and then we went back to Cup Camp and we became partners. And since we knew each other, it was just like so exciting because we like knew each other. We knew how to work with each other. So it was just like super easy and fun because then we knew we were like, if he's going to be shy, I know that I have to talk. Or if I'm going to be shy about something, you know, he knows he has to talk. So it was just like super exciting. And I was just pumped and like Hamilton as a whole, we were like a giant family. So it just like, it made everything so much easier and flow so much easier.
Sure. Y'all have amazing answers to all the questions. So this is our last one for today, and I want to hear from everybody for this one. What was one of the biggest takeaways from camp that you got and still use today? Jordan, I saw you look super excited, so we're going to start with you.
I was thinking. So I think the biggest takeaway I have is just that, like, the voice I found at camp with my just making friends and like the staff. Just because, once again, I was a quiet student, and now I have absolutely no hesitation in like speaking my ideas, like making statements, and like I feel super confident in it. And I also have no hesitation being like occasionally sassy. So there's that. I think there's a lot of positivity came out of it. Like right now I'm like on a job search to be a teacher, and like I know that when I go into interviews, when I'm talking to professionals in the work environment, or even just taking classes back in college, like I knew that I was an expert in my field. I knew what I could say, and I was confident in saying that.
Let's go with Andrea next.
For me, one of the takeaways from camp from the beginning, like from being a camper, was to always be open-minded about new experiences. Like you're never gonna regret opening up to a new experience, because there's always something that you learn from it, even if it wasn't a good experience or like a positive experience per se. There's always something that you can take away from for your life, and the new things that you learn can help you grow as a person, as a leader, as anything you want to be in the future. Like always keep an open mind to learning new things and new experiences.
I think that's one of the main things with camp, like getting to learn and grow as a person and leader for sure. Terry, what about you?
I think the biggest takeaway that I had for camp, and this could apply for like every single year that I was in camp, it's that you can try to do things on your own, but it's a lot easier and it's a lot more fun to have people that help you. One of my favorite things about camp is that it's not just like, the fun, like hanging out at Trinity Pines and doing all these things. We give you resources for campus, but the biggest resource that we give you are the people that you meet, whether it's the staff or the people that come to camp with you. And they're like going to be your biggest asset throughout the entire college, because they're going to be the ones that have your back whenever things get tough. So having people help you is like one of the greatest things.
For sure. Like I think I've touched on it before, but those bonds you make at camp really do last and carry them with you for throughout your whole 4 years at the university.
Mm-hmm.
Don, what about you?
So I think my biggest takeaway kind of falls in line with Andrea's. It's having like a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. I think that's definitely helped me learn a lot about myself, grow as a person over my past 3 years, going on 4 years at UH. And it's just been like a really integral part of, like I said, like just me as a whole. Yeah.
And then lastly, Monica, what was one of the biggest takeaways from camp that you got and still use today?
So my biggest takeaway, it's kind of a little bit different than everybody else's, but it's how much I fell in love with U of H while I was there. When we were doing like the camp takeover, I still remember it. And it was just like a powerful moment for myself, since I like didn't know anybody else there and like wasn't really sure about going to U of H. Once we started doing like the Womp Womp and doing all the UH fight songs and things like that, that's when I realized like, okay, UH is my home. I want to actually be here. I want to attend the school. I want to better my education. And it just like made me happy to be somewhere where I felt safe and secure, rather than like if I wouldn't have gone to Cup Camp, I wouldn't have known anything about UH and would have been like stressing out even more.
For sure. So thank you guys so much. Those were all the prepared questions I've had for y'all today, but now Vicky's going to be here and see if we have any questions from our audience members.
Back. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah.
Hi guys. So, and this is our Q&A part. So anybody in the audience who has a questions, let them know what your questions are through the chat on the chat screen on the right side of your screen, and we'll be answering your questions with our panelists. But in the meantime, if no one has any questions right now, we can go through the line for our panelists and see what you guys have been up to since Cup Camp and since 2017. So we can start with Jordan. I know you were talking about you going through your teaching interviews, so maybe touch on a little bit about that. What's been going on with you?
Oh, so yeah. So I recently graduated with for the degree in education. So I'm just looking for jobs as a middle school teacher in Houston. Yeah, it's specifically for math. Yeah, so I just got an interview the other day and I was so excited because at the school I really want to go to. And like I had to do like a lesson, or I'm gonna have to do a lesson. And I'm super excited because I kind of did the same, like something similar while working with Cupcamp. So I feel prepared.
Phew, okay.
Congratulations. Good luck. We wish you the
Yeah.
best luck. Let's hear from Dawn. What's been going on with you?
Nothing too crazy. I guess since I was a camper, yeah, I came back and was a counselor with Monica as my partner in 2019, and I just came back again as a co-chair this year. So it's been interesting. It's been a good experience. I've been enjoying it. Getting ready to graduate, that'll be fun. Have one more year, psych degree. Was gonna have an HR internship this year, but because of the pandemic and everything, it fell through. So that was pretty disappointing. But just been living.
And just asking, what camp are you representing this year?
At Pacheco, Yellow Camp.
Ooh,
Hello.
for any campers who are viewing, you could be part of Dawn's camp, Camp Pacheco. So register today. And let's go with Andrea. What's going on with you?
Me? Well, since 2017, man, so much has happened. I was a counselor, I was a co-chair, and now I'm in the marketing team for Cupcamp. That's me, I'm just always trying to give back to Cupcamp because of everything they've given me. So I'm just out here trying to give it my all, And then I have a job downtown, so just working hard and staying focused, just trying to graduate,
Well, that's good. And then let's hear from Terry. What's been going on with you?
Pretty much the same that everybody's been saying. I'm taking my last 2 summer courses. They've been like online Teams meetings, so I'm pretty used to this right here. But other than that, just trying to finalize my resume and my cover page because I graduated in August. So the second I graduate, or actually no, I've already started now applying for jobs wherever they're hiring. So yeah, and Cupca has helped a lot with that because like they're pretty much my entire resume.
Well, good luck on your
Yeah.
interview. Congratulations on graduating. So, whoop, whoop. And then Monica, last but not least, what's been going on with you?
Since being a camper, a lot has happened. Last year I was a counselor for Camp Hamilton with Dawn, and then this year I'm a counselor for Camp Pacheco again. But Dawn is my co-chair, so we still work together. But I should be graduating this December, hopefully, if everything goes good. But that's about it.
Yay. Well, I'm glad to hear that all you guys are doing really well. We didn't have any questions for today's webinar, but this won't be the only webinar that you guys can tune in. Our next webinar will be July 27th, and the topic is Cougar Spirit. So tune in to hear our panelists talk about what's going on, how you can show spirit to the university. And last but not least, I've said this before, but our registration for Cupcamp 2020 is open now, and the link is www.uh.edu/Cupcamp. Register today, and you get to meet basically half of these people on this panel at Camp, but we can't wait to see you guys there. Bye guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.